Hey foodies, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my Gadget Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I made my son's Spider-Man birthday cake, and I'll be using my Breville Smart Oven Air and my KitchenAid stand mixer. So this is a very easy cake to put together, and I'm going to show you how. So I started off with a box cake mix, and I'm using Funfetti because my son loves sprinkles. If you watch the video that he did with his sister where they made cupcakes, you will remember that he wanted tons of sprinkles on top. So anyways, it's just a box mix. I'm using the ingredients per the instructions. Instead of water though, I did use milk, and then I added a few extra sprinkles to the batter. These are called baking strips. You soak them in water and then you actually wrap them around your cake pans, and they help your cakes bake evenly with flat tops. So I'm just using an office clip to hold them around the pan, and I'm adding in the batter, and then I tap the batter on the counter about 10 times just to settle the batter and then to remove any air bubbles. And I'm baking the cakes in my Breville Smart Oven Air. So while they're baking, I did my buttercream. I've got some non-dairy creamer, and I added half a cup of that to half a cup of hot water. And then I added half a teaspoon of popcorn salt. I use popcorn salt because that dissolves a lot quicker than regular salt. And now I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of butter vanilla, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, and 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. So I mix that together really well. I have 2.5 sticks of butter softened, and I have 12 ounces of shortening. I'm using high ratio baking shortening. And I'm going to beat the butter and the shortening together on high for several minutes until it's nice and fluffy like this. So then I scraped down the sides of the bowl, and it was time to add in the powdered sugar and the creamer. So I'm adding in about 6 cups of powdered sugar, and then the half a cup of the creamer mixed with the flavorings. So here's the cake. This is actually the next day. After they finished baking and cooled, I wrapped them in plastic wrap and I put them in the fridge overnight. So the next day I cut off the tops of the cake, and now you can see that I am adding buttercream and spreading it all around the cake. And then once I had a good layer of buttercream on there, then I topped it with the second layer, and then I just push it down just to make sure that it's really on there, and then that prevents any type of bulging from the sides later. Okay, so now I am just doing a crumb coat on the cake, and that's just a thin layer of icing all around the cake, and this will seal in any crumbs. And if you hear any background noises, I apologize. I'm actually doing this voiceover in a parking garage. I'm on vacation with my family right now, and I didn't get any videos uploaded before I left, so I'm in a parking garage. So I hope you're not hearing any of this background noise. Anyway, so I did the crumb coat, and then I put the cake in the fridge to chill. And while the cake was chilling, I went ahead and colored the rest of the buttercream blue. Oh, and while the cake is in the fridge, it's actually firming up the buttercream to prepare it for this coat right here. So now I am adding the blue buttercream all around the cake, and I'm using a bench scraper to smooth out the sides. Now you do not have to have a perfectly smooth cake, and mine isn't going to be perfectly smooth because the way it's going to be decorated is going to hide any imperfections. So now I'm just taking some sprinkles, because remember I told you my son loves sprinkles, and I'm just putting them on the lower half of the cake. And here's what it looks like when it was all done. And then I got a very large piping bag, and I added a large star tip to it. And then I added the buttercream, and it was time to decorate the cake. So like I said, this is a super easy cake. So I am just doing large rosettes all around the top of the cake, and then I decided to do some a large shell border at the base of the cake. Next, I took the leftover sprinkles and I added them to the top of the rosettes, and then I added them down at the bottom on top of the shell border. Next, I took a piece of blue fondant and I rolled it out into a circle. I placed it in the center of the cake, and then I put this light up Spider-Man topper on top, and then I added more sprinkles. So here's the cake. This was like so easy. It's a box cake. It's minimal work on the decorations, and he loved it. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. And oh, here's the inside of the cake. I totally forgot that picture was coming. Oh, and here's the birthday boy. Say hi, birthday boy. Anyways, as always, thanks so much for watching, and remember, get out of that drive-thru and get into the kitchen. Bye.